Ladies, gentlemen, and others in chat, welcome to another drawing stream. Well, we will continue our epic adventures into making a comic. Before that, we gotta review our notes from the Sunday painting session. Whee! There, here we go. Nope. Yeah. There we go. Right. So for the ellipsis, which is supposed to go from wide or to narrow and back to wide again, or something to that effect. We're gonna go for quality instead of quantity, right? So probably just do. That's not what I wanted. One straight and one curved, where we align things. Basically slow down and spend like, rather than trying to crank out multiple. So for straight and curved lines, it needs to be parallel and equally spaced. Ghost more. Apparently that was the, I didn't do enough ghosting last time, so we had more dots. Hey, dots and stuff. How you doing this Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Monday afternoon. Nice of you to stop by. Appreciate it. Rotating basic forms. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on practicing. We're just gonna keep on. We're gonna use the same reference as we did on Sunday, which was a spectacular failure. But you know, keep practicing. And for the interlocking shapes, we have our trusty two boxes here. And yeah, we're just gonna, on the notes there, more precision. Managed to actually get them done pretty good, but they were off a little bit by proportion, so something to work at. And with the mannequin, 10-minute mannequin pose, we have our lovely reference here, courtesy of the Pose Archive over at DeviantArt. Basically keep at it, keep practicing. And for the silhouette, better time management. That is, use all 10 minutes. I finished, I think it was like 3 minutes ahead of the time, which sort of go like, I'm probably benefit from slowing a bit down. Excuse me. So, with the review out of the way, let's get our trusty cell phone out. And let's see, can we crank down to a gentleman's 15 size brush? And 3 minutes, let's go. Straight line at the diagonal. Okay, not bad. How am I doing on time? 1 more minute. Just for the heck of it. Can we do a vertical one? Really quick? Kinda. I don't know if it's just result of the mileage or just the result of me slowing down. It's kind of hard to tell, but this one turned out surprisingly well. And there's time. Yeah. Okay. Straight lines and curved lines. We gotta do some more ghosting. Ghosting. Ghosting, he says, and he doesn't ghost. Yeah. I guess the secret sauce is... Ow. Secret sauce is not to talk and draw at the same time. The secret sauce seems to be to not... to just take it slow and not... and also ghost. I should ghost. I should pay attention to the notes. But yeah, not let don't just get stressed out about time and trying to cram as much as possible into those 3 minutes. Instead, go like, you're in for the long haul. You're gonna do this exercise at the start of every stream. So don't try to cram as much as possible into. That was a total dud, but okay. But we do need to practice our sharp curves as well. Muscle memory, that's what it's all about, chat. Alright, not all of it, but... Another dud. Alright, ghosting. Yeah. Yeah, didn't follow my own advice. Gotta say, didn't follow the. Oh, there we go. All right. Rotating basic forms. Oh boy. Not looking forward to this one. This is probably gonna be very ugly. Maybe if I because a bit of a challenge is like I have a hard time seeing my cursor, but now maybe if I increase the opacity to a gentleman's 40%, then there's a little bit of a higher contrast between. Yeah, let's go. And also general familiarity with them. Can we salvage this one? Oh. It's kind of onto. Yeah, I'm onto something. It's just now. It just needs to be bigger. Probably not that big. That one was very clean, but is it? Nope. Probably too wide. Yeah. The angle is not necessarily. You could salvage that with the angle, but you can't salvage that one with the wideness. Like if I can I try and maybe let me move off again. I don't know. It's one of those things that go like, how much? Alright, now we need, and I, generally speaking, don't like that. I remember from my Drawbox days. I didn't like drawing cylinders like that and go like, oh yeah, you have two vertical lines and then align the ellipse. According to that, I much prefer to just draw the ellipse and then the connecting line. Ah, pooey pants. That could have worked. It just needs to be much. That one could have worked. I don't think this one is gonna work. It's going to work there. Like, I will take that. I will take that as an absolute win, chat. Is that that better be the right angle, or I swear. No, it probably needs to be. Something like that. Oop. How about that? I mean, the bottom one is kind of closer than the top lid, but hey, this is a lot better than yesterday's efforts. And of course now everything is gonna get screwed over because like I made some initial proportion mistakes or compromises. That one might have I'm not sure if that one could have been salvaged, but because when I remember when we did portrait system at Doodle Warrior Academy, we had this temp layer workflow. We were just like, we had a master layer and a temp layer, and you could, since you were working temporarily on a separate layer, you could just use the transform tool and do whatever the heck you wanted with almost whatever the heck you wanted with the thing, with whatever the heck you with whatever it is. Was you drawing a circle, an ellipse, a line, a curve, whatever? Just go to town. That was truly a blessing in disguise. Oh, come on. How? Well, that was a clean ellipse. If nothing else, I'm getting a lot of mileage out of my ellipses. Riveting YouTube content. Let's frickin' go. Or streaming content. I'm multi-streaming. Without a care in the world. You know what? I'm gonna take that as an absolute win. And I think that is the correct angle for those two. Yeah. And now we just need to draw on the bottom. Yeah, baby. How about that? How do you like them apples? Mine are kind of good. Not gonna lie. Oh my goodness, this is really giving me Drawbox flashbacks because holy crap, there's a lot of like, it's not necessarily, yeah, because like there's a lot of lines, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and it'll go like oh, that one is way too thick. All of these are way too thick. My goodness, this is gonna be hard. It's gonna be that classic, like, things fit individually, but they don't. It's that classic mistake of mine. I go like, oh yeah, they kind of sort of fit individually, but oh, that one was pretty much right on target, right on the money. But they don't fit. Like, as a union, right? Because if I align this one, then things are misaligned here, but if I align that one, then yeah, that is a reoccurring problem of mine. I guess that's what you get when you stack up drawing depth the way. But hey, you know, this one is. Oh my goodness, what is up and what is down on this sucker? Oh my goodness, it's so confusing to look at. It hurts my brain. Not gonna lie, chat. This hurts my brain. But I guess we're almost, we're done one way or the other, and it's just, I mean, technically speaking, that one is too wide, but I'm also kind of like, this line will also just like disappear behind it. So if we have the time to actually clean up this absolute train wreck of a, I think that one was pretty good. Yeah, like, okay, the angle of that one is completely bonkers, but how we're doing on time. 1 more minute. Let's see if we can just try and clean this one up at the very least. Yeah, so that disappears, and that disappears. And that disappears behind there. And this disappears. This... No, not that one. This one disappears. I suppose we can get rid of it. An additional one. That is the bottom lid of that one, so which means that this line disappears. Okay, we didn't get a chance to clean it up completely. But that is quite the leap from yesterday's attempt. Long-term memory for the win, I guess. All right, manipulating forms. I guess we'll just crank this one also up to a gentleman's 40% opacity. And scoot you over. And see if we can be a little bit more. Oh, we're starting strong, chat. Look at that. Right angle and right size or length. That's what she said. Is that... I would love to use temp players so badly, but... Like, I feel like it's... Oh my goodness, I am... Holy smokes, man. I am really on fire today. And it kind of goes, I suppose it kind of go like, not that much. All right, much like duh, of course, it's it practically ends there, so it's something like that. No, much further down, actually. It goes this way. Pretty gosh darn close. Like, this line is a little bit off, but screw it. Well, it's gonna come back and bite in the butt, no doubt, but let's do that. Yeah. I don't think that is that. Nope. The only disadvantage of really overshooting your lines is this to go like you have to like eyeball, go like, all right, is that the right place, angle? And you're like, nope, it's not. Because you kind of think, oh, the end of that line is the same as the end of that line. And you're like, no, it's not. And it goes, does it go straight up? No, it goes off a little bit by at a slight angle. And things are kind of already sliding out of control. Let's see if I can adhere to... It's kind of hard to adhere to the master because I'm already off, but like I guess that's like as good as we get considering all things considered. Just a smidge higher. That was right on the money. Pretty. No, I was way off. Holy smokesy pants. Okay. Sylvia. Much closer. Much closer, sir. How about that? Yeah? It's a good spot, but it needs to point a little bit more upwards. Not that much. A little bit. No. How about that? Too much. Why is this so freaking... Okay, maybe I can make it easy on myself if I just draw them down this... Throw down this line instead. Maybe that angle is easier. Oh, yeah, baby. And then we kind of just need to connect these two. Yeah. Sometimes. Oh, no. No. I'm losing time, but accuracy was the main focus. The name of the game, so here we are. Doing the whole accuracy bit. Even if we don't necessarily complete it. And now we just... Wonderful. Uh-huh. A little bit too sharp. Step it out just a little bit. Too much, of course. So used to making these little... Why do I keep curving the line outwards? I have no honest idea. Draw it straight, Diggy. Come on. Get your head in the game, Diggy. Get into... No, there's no robot for me to get into. No. Can't make that reference. Get into robot. Oh. Like that? Close again a little bit further. Oh my goodness. Honestly, how in the ever-living crap am I supposed to be able to... Alright, we're closing in on the right spot, but now we just need to find the angle. And now that we find the angle, we also need to draw it straight. Ah, and we lost the angle. Lovely. Oh, this... There we go. That took us an embarrassing amount of time. But hey, we made it. Okay. Is that... No, that is not the right... Oh, okay. It's almost at the end. And it sort of curves. Ooh, pretty close. Inwards. Oh, so close. It just needs to be right there on the... Yeah, it's a little bit off here internally. I'm not sure how to best remedy. Maybe it would have been better if I started with the outline first. maybe. And then worried about the right, because like it would be something like that, right? A little bit higher. Right. Again, it's a little, again, it's off here, but how about, okay, let's try a little different approach. Like we draw that, right? And then like it needs to be somewhat parallel to that line. So yeah, that corner is a little bit off, so what can we do? And that does, and then it goes, and we're out of time. But we almost, like again, we almost completed it. And it's much more accurate. But yeah, maybe the outline. Start with the outline next time. But yeah. I'm not sure if this 40% gentleman's 40% opacity. I don't think that this, no, we need to adjust. We need to adjust. But the grid, our guidance box, needs to be adjusted. And again, I'm just gonna low-key ignore the sword, as I always, as is tradition, I ignore in this art stream, we are ignoring props when we do our poses. Boom. Okay. 10 minutes. Let's go. His shoulders going this way. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shoulder, shoulder, head. Neck. Okay, so we have the spherical. This curves and this is straight. We have another which curves out, and then no. It needs to go much. Probably something like that. Right. You got the other, which there is a somewhat of a diagonal there. Yeah. So that one kind of just goes like that. It's entirely possible that this is wrong. That this is the weight bearing leg, and I've always struggled with identifying that. So the foot, this should be actually somewhere down here. I changed the pose a little bit, so, or pushed the pose, exaggerated the pose, or what have you. And again, opposing curves, not dumb. Hand. Alright, that one goes behind. I suppose. In this case we can like just pull that one down and it kind of just comes out here, and then you have like the elbow bent is kind of like further behind to get it to fit within the same box. And hand here, and then you get that triangular space. Right, and then we're just cleaning things up a little bit. Oh, hang on. I always erase the wrong on this one. There we go. That is what's supposed to be erased on that one. And this one is supposed to be... There we go. Now we're communicating what is in front and what isn't behind. Much better. And you go like, yeah, your line of action kind of goes like down and center, boom. And you have your pitch here, and you have your stretch there. Yeah. Won't you look at that? Yeah, well, we can keep that elbow info behind there just to better demonstrate. How are we doing on time? 3 minutes to spare. mean, yeah, I pushed the pose, but dang, look at those legs. They're pretty spot on. Like, the only thing I did was, like, push the pose for the torso a little bit. Yeah. I am wondering if I'm actually starting to crack the code a little bit. Huh. For all these years, I'm finally starting to sort of get better at, like, legitimately interpreting poses or references, and just that is a beautiful thing, chat. That is a beautiful thing. It retains and also communicates that gestural vibe of it. Like, I don't lose the gesture in the riggedness of the construction. And then you just need to put like 6,000 different muscles on top. That's for future me to worry about. But they say that stuff like this is like, oh yeah, that is 90% of the, or 80% of the drawing is done at this stage here. And there's no way I'm touching anatomy on this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, wow. Huh. It is. A beautiful thing, Chad. Alright. I kind of ran into the same problem with the mannequin as I did with the silhouette yesterday, which was like I still had 3 minutes to spare. Which means, like, yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting faster at it. So yeah, maybe we might want to up the difficulty and maybe remove the grid. This whole frame thing. Maybe. At least for... Okay, let's see. Let's just start there, so we have an anchor place. And weirdly enough, when it comes to the silhouette, at least a prop inside of the frame here. Okay, like the knee, as roughly speaking. Okay, so we bump for the knee. About. No, that's probably. This looks like it needs to be a little bit further down and goes almost all the way out. It goes in here and then out, and then you have the heel. Right. And there's a diagonal between the two, so you can only have, okay, I have a knee, and then a bit flat spot for the knee, and then out and out, and then in, and then put. And then almost straight up. And then I suppose something like that. And then out, curve back in again with the knee. And this is the back of the thigh, which is more or less straight. And then you got the glutes, waist, kinda, yeah, a little bit up in that one, yeah. And then it goes, there's that bump in there, and then we have we just do a straight diagonal to about 950. Which is about there, roughly speaking. We can go down and down. And the wrist starts at 12 something. That's way too far down. Here starts the wrist. Or rather, it goes, I suppose it goes out. And we'll just do the fist. I have a sneaking suspicion that this hand here needs to be, this whole arm needs to be at a angle, some more akin to this, which again, I need to stretch this out a bit and then rotate it, question mark, I think. And then, struggling with don't get too caught on, lost in the anatomy of the arm, I suppose. Shoulder, trapezius, deltoid, I suppose, trapezius, and then, yeah, because the shoulder is at somewhere there. Shoulder needs to be even higher up, about there. Angle of the head, curve almost at the top. Well, it kind of flattens out at the top, and then there's a curve at the back of the head, and then, you know, the bottom of the trapezius. Yeah. Flattens out. Shoulder. Shoulder. And goes down a bit and then goes out. And of course we have a interesting negative space thing going on here, which is going to be super interesting. And that is a thick neck, but I don't know. Maybe it just is. Maybe it just is that kind of a thick boy. Right. Show the change in direction. I don't know. How are we doing on time? Still 3 minutes. I mean, I could huff and puff some copium and say that I changed the pose. But, yeah. The leg, this one is too long, and the angle of the... I got like... Yeah, and the head is a little bit wonky, but, like... Progress is being made, chat, and that is good. But, like, still time management. Like, I'm starting trying to think, like, what can I... What can I do to... I'm curious about that negative space, though. Did I get that? Almost. Like, the thickness of the sword is off. And, like, if that is my anchor point, then yeah, things... It's that width, though. It's that width. It's easier for me to gauge up and how high something is, how tall something is, rather than how wide something is. For some reason, I really struggle with that. I am not entirely sure why that is, how to remedy that. But I suppose I could. But again, like, I do have the time, so I could just do more measuring, basically. That's about it. No. Oh, my phone wants my PIN code. That's fine. But yeah. Steady practice. Okay, so let's do some reviews. Week 6 of 2026. 2nd of February, 0202. All right, this is, yeah, I mean, slowing down seems to be the trick. All right, keep a slow pace. Keep slow pace. Yeah. That seems to be that seems to be the road forward, chat. That I'm just going like, Again. More ghosting. Yeah, I didn't ghost, so. Good progress. I finished it, and I managed to, like, I finished all the cylinders, and I even got to the cleaning up stage, but they are not, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, and it's not to scale. So, we're on the right track, but let's go, okay, let's go for, let's try to aim for better accuracy. There. Accuracy for rotated cylinders or rotated forms. And manipulating forms, yeah. Oh yeah, right. Try outline first. Try outline first. That might resolve, because then I have a framework of which to evaluate the intersecting thing. Yeah. I don't have much on the mannequin, to be honest. Oh, I need to... Maybe if I'm gonna activate the right layer, I can actually move the sucker over. I don't have much on the mannequin. Like, I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's different from the pose, but it's still recognizable from the pose. And I kind of like I pushed it and made it a little bit more gestury. So, and proportions are kind of on point. And it's rough around the edges, but this is like, yeah, what do you want from me? It's a 10-minute mannequin. Yeah. But like, yeah, just keep at it. Keep at it. Like, I don't really have many notes. Again, it's a time management, and yeah, okay. Measure width. I'm gonna go like that. Measure. That's the keywords for next session. I'm gonna cross out Tuesday. Yes. There won't be any streams on. There won't be any streams tomorrow. No stream tomorrow. Okay. I'll just brag a little bit about my... Yes, I would like to save. And I also had some... I finally found some running poses. Or a running pose, but that we can use. That we might as well go back to. Yeah. Sorry. Back to the beginning. Oh right, this was this one with the speed drag effect with the hand. Oh man, I need a hand reference too. Well, I kind of have a hand reference, but I was thinking about like this one thing here. This one looks really... This one does not look good. Gotta have to be honest with you, that one does not look good. 1, 2, panel 3, let's frickin' go. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can fix panel number 3 on, what's this, page 3. Panel 3 on page 3. But I think my laundry is done, so I need to fix that. One moment, chat. Alright, now we're back in business, ready to tackle. Perks of being a bachelor. You don't have to do... You can do whatever the heck you want on your own time, but the downside is you have to do everything yourself. Oh well. Let's see. Okay, I had a plan. I found in one of my resources good old Art Pose Pro. Hashtag not sponsored, but you know. Where are we? Give me the pose. This is the pose that was on category 3, and there was a running pose. This is a good running pose. And now the big question is how I mean, it's running up. Again. Like, the eye level is pretty gosh darn low on this thing. So let's try that. Screenshot. Selection. Take screenshot. Boom. I'm just gonna. Did I just save that on the straight on the desktop? If I minimize, that doesn't have any effect. Nice. If I minimize OBS and just drag you over to the second screen, bring it over here, drag you in as a reference image, boom. Bring back OBS so that I can see what you're seeing. Yay, look at that. Okay. I am not sure if they do not align, but that is okay. Because like it is kind of to the size that I'm going for, and I'm like, all right, sure, let's just have him sprint like a madman. Brush and delete. Something like that, right? Because then guess what? We have a and we have a literal reference to allow that allows us to just go like, yeah, look at that, Running Man. Oh yeah, I visited my my job office. I got summoned into the office on the last day of my vacation. I was like, wait a minute, what? That kind of rattled me. It's like, wait, which is why I ended yesterday's stream so early, because I couldn't focus on drawing. I was like, okay, that's that. Generally speaking, I never had that before. It's like, yeah, can you come by the office tomorrow at 8, even though it's your vacation? They didn't specify that it was like, yeah, we know that you're on vacation, but like, that's okay. It's possible. There is a good possibility that you just forgot, which is something that they confirmed when I sort of like talked to them. They go like, yeah. But anyway, it's still issues with work, and I'm like, anyway. My position for the last 6 months of the last half of 25, I was sort of like working in a 40% position, just 40% of the time, which basically is just 20 or 2 days a week, basically. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And the problem with all of that, I was gonna go like, okay, that's not necessarily fun. I can't live off that kind of a payment, job insecurity, and so on and so forth. But anyway, at the tail end of the year, I had some vacation days left, and I go like, oh, I haven't taken out my vacation days. I was supposed to do this, and that's how I got confirmation that you go like, yeah, we will. You just take out the vacation days in January and this year, and it's all good. And because of the way that the days, my vacation days were organized, I go like, that. This looks like I'm back in at 100%. Is that how it is now? Can you confirm that I'm back at the start of 2026? I'm essentially back in 100% position. Go like, yeah, welcome back. But now, yesterday or today rather, I got a bit of a like counter message. Actually, no, you're not on the. You're not. No, you're not at 100%. You are at. There's been a change in the contract, so we still need you to work a fewer days. They tweaked the contract, altered the deal. But they didn't want to throw me back into in a reduced position. So you kind of go like, all right, how do we resolve this? And I'm like, so instead they were like, we're just gonna take you in here you're gonna be working here at the main office 2 days of the week, and then the other like the other 2 days, like on Mondays and Mondays and Fridays, you're essentially going to be that dude might be too big for that door for that position. Like if that is a full rich, I don't know. It's tricky. And do I have like I have no idea why is it so quiet for like half a minute? Like why do you do that? I'm kind of tempted to just remove you and play. So, which is of course very nice of them. Don't get me wrong. Much appreciated. But at the same time, I'm not super duper happy about it because like I was kind of like, yay, finally back to reality almost. You know, back to how it used to be, and things are all as good in the world and stable. And I'm like, nope, you're not gonna. We're not gonna do that. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. You're gonna have to. And it's most likely the main company, or they kind of just in no uncertainty have told me, they're like, yeah, it's the main company that has so altered the deal, and we kind of just have to reconcile that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, just have to reconcile with that fact. And yeah, there we go. Not exactly super fun, but what can a poor guy do? I want my job and I want my money and paycheck. So you kind of just have to take it lying down. But basically, which is crappy for my coworker because like he will be left holding the Joker, and I feel bad for him because like that's not fun. He's a good guy, and I don't like it when bad things happen to good people. And I'm like, no, I want that. This is not what I want. And I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. And I go like, well, this is what you get. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to rock the boat, because I was just kind of not necessarily scared that they would put me on a street, but I'd be like, you know what? I've kind of spent all my stubbornness chips last year when I was kind of very insistent on that, you know, they reduce my position so that I can only work 2 days a week, and then that's what they're gonna get. If they don't, you know, I can be flexible and say that I can be flexible with what days of the week that I come in, but that is about as far as I can take it, to be honest with you. And if you want, right, so for me, I go like, no, it doesn't really matter whether I come in on Monday, Tuesday, or what have you. That didn't really matter that much to me. So that's the case. So, yeah. Exciting stuff. Or not really, I guess, but here we are. Alright. How does that look? In the grand scheme of things. Again, like, it doesn't look that bad. Serviceable for a basic mannequin. Good gesture. Good gesture. Man, wrestling with that horse, wow. It feels like freaking ages ago. Did I have a, like, did I have a reference? No, I didn't. I pulled this one completely out of my butt cheeks. Which is why it looks so weird. But I'm wondering if I can take that same pose and just edit it. Which is not gonna be... but the beautiful thing about this one, we can mirror it. Yeah, that we can do that, and but we need to have it like, instead of running forward, I kind of want him to like. I guess. No, that is just pivoting. Is it? That's just, I can move. Okay, he rotates that way, which is fine. Pivot. How do you... Is it this one? Did you grab... Okay, there you go. And then... And this one. Not exactly... Nope, that's not what I wanted. This one. Okay, what if I... put a basic box that's to him to sort of like simulate. But I can't. Oh, I can scale it up. Okay, cool. But I can only scale it universally. I can't like scale it along one axis. It seems. No. That's okay. So there's the corner that he's sort of like running around. Oh, that's a scale of the dude too. Cool. Something. Okay, cool. Well, why you gotta be so okay? That is pivoting that way. Yeah, I mean, that is a crazy ass pose. That's a very. Much more dynamic and interesting than that, but. And technically speaking, when you are running, you're essentially just falling you're falling over. Oh, come on. That's the one. This is the one that I want. Can I? Yeah, there we go. Then we just gotta find a cool. Or maybe, you know, can I get you to look? I mean, he is a runner, so it's gonna be cool. Shot. Let's try this for good measure. It's not exactly riveting content to see me fiddle around with an application off camera or off stream, but not exactly super high octane entertainment, but hey. All right, so my logic, which is always flawless, is essentially something akin to this, right? So you still have your corner, but he's just rounding the corner like this. It makes it probably clear, which also means that it gives us an opportunity to show this other corner. Mm-hmm. Stuck watching? Okay. Screeching. Making a screeching entrance. It's not exactly the most graceful running pose ever, but not as graceful as this one. It's like I kind of feel like if you rounded this corner, yeah, because again, the advantage of this one is kind of like you sort of now I can also get that he's throwing the pitchfork. This one. That you can see that coming, zooming by him with the whole speed line thing. Yeah. That could work. That could work, chat. That could work. But that is panel 1. Gotta get rid of that sketch. Get out of here. Look at that. Alright, so there's our sketch. That's that. Okay, there we go. And we have this one. We can get rid of that. And how about we just do something like this? Or maybe, hang on, if I erase it on the inside, because then I get to cut off that one. We don't need these that part of the line anymore. That. And I suppose it doesn't matter too much. Try to keep it aligned with the perspective lines over here, but the grand scheme of things, I don't think that it matters that much, to be perfectly honest with you. As long as the perspective is good enough, I'm happy. All right, cool. Now we have our basic. Basic perspective down. We need This is gonna be a tricky one. It's almost like, if I didn't know any better, it was almost like the control button on my keyboard is starting to fail. I should get a new. So we have a line. Yeah, this is a tricky one because I don't really get to see that much. Oh, well, we'll just end it here. Right. Just end. Pull that one back over there. There we go. Like. Oh. It probably needs to be a little bit more like this, I think. Let's... Ah. Doesn't deviate too much. Right. And then I suppose it kind of just goes down like this. Roughly speaking. Okay. There we go. And yeah, that would basically put his yeah, because then his hips would go like this, because that is the weight bearing leg, obviously. Hearing the weight kicking off. Like that. Methinks. Right. Granted, it's here. It's probably much more like this. Methinks. Good old. Good old sketching. How I missed you. Yeah. Oh. Need another line here. Like such. Maybe it doesn't go all the way out to here. Like that. Like such. Get rid of that. Yeah. Alright, and then we did do the old, trusty old. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious, you know, like. Am I? Ah, god dang it! I'm This is the whole thing now. Yeah, okay. Cool. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I just realized I'm turning the whole... I was not reading the reference correctly. We can't have any of that now, can we, chat? Gotta pay attention to the reference. Because the whole thing, like the knee curves this way, actually. Actually, it curves this way. Which means that this sucker here curves downwards. And we need something akin to this. Yeah, I need that on a new temp layer. Try to wrap that sucker around like such. And clean that stuff up. Collapse you down. That is that. And now we can collapse curve you down and do you a straight into that one. Such. And now can we erase all this interior stuff? Right. And we have like the knee ball thing. Knee joint ball. Represent. Straight. More or less. And curve. And we curve this one out. And we curve this next one in. And I suppose we can just do a simple boxy foot. Suppose if we really wanted to get in on some of that, we could do something like we can do that, and then we can do this, right? And then we can go like up there and down there to really describe the joint, or the interconnectivity between the two. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. I'm not gonna bother with the the ball on this here because it's a tangent. Tangent's about it's great. I'll accept it for the sketch. But tangents are bad, chat. You shouldn't have tangents. Because it flattens your image. That is why tangents are bad. And I feel like still feel like that's a big foot. I don't know. I'm kind of like, but you know, it just looks so. Bleh. Oh well. Is that an official shoe size, by the way? Blah. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit, give it smart and make the shoulder ball big. And then, okay, this one. This is the arm cylinder. Which kind of goes all wraps around and comes down here, and then bink goes into this thing, and I guess comes down here for a little bit of something. I suppose we could turn off the sketch and don't confuse ourselves here. I don't like to be confused, chat. I like it when the world is simple. That's them Saturday night cartoons. When we were young. Didn't have a care in the world. The days of yore. Kind of tempted to just put the wrist here, actually. Excellent. And then just... Sketchy, sketchy. Cool. All that on one layer. Wonderful. Oh, auto-save time. Manual save time. Ah. Okay. Yes. Look at that. All right. The other shoulder is kind of like back here. I'm not. We're probably not gonna see a lot of this. A lot of that shoulder ball. I'm kind of like tempted to just make that like the back end of the arm cylinder. Yeah, let's go with that. Just go with that. Or alternatively, the ball, the shoulder ball kind of just covers completely up the back plane of the cylinder. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. See a little bit of this line going here, and the line going all across over here. And I guess we would... I mean, we can try to put it in there, but I don't think that we're gonna see... No, the head is gonna cover that stuff up. But oh well. An effort was made. A for effort. Let's just do something simple for the hand, because
makes the dead rise and become zombies.
yeah.
Become zombies.
Oh. Okay. A lot of plain old information for that hand. I think that's about it for that part. And yeah, because now all of that is on separate layer. Yeah. So now comes the fun part. The head. Of course we have the the big dome. It's, I don't know. Something like that. Beautiful. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, that chiseled chin. Something stupid. alpha male ideology, but is it an ideology? I don't know. Cue the Giga Chad meme dude. I suppose we could just put in that one. Oh, that's not quite what I meant to do, question mark? But we can just patch that back in. Right. Yeah, we're still on the same layer. So we need I would like to have a separate layer because I need to put in that brow line. Just give a basic idea what the heck this guy is. The orientation of looks like that Squidward meme. That head looks like a handsome Squidward. Anyway. Let's just make a new. Who says a drawing can't be fun? Yeah. There we go. Something like that. It's not exactly where that line is supposed to go, but, you know, screw it. Yeah. And I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's good. It's good enough for my purposes. Cool. And now I would like to, ladies and gentlemen, this is a non-smoking flight. Fasten your seatbelts, and this is your captain speaking. And yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. And now I can collapse that down. And we need to establish the neck. Which is I'd like to avoid a tangent, please. So I'm just gonna put that line a little bit off from the corner. And hang on. Junk. That also kind of just face is too narrow. But again, I don't have to adhere completely 110% to the reference. So I don't know, we'll just put that little popper back there, and we can just squish this one back there. And we can go, I don't know. It's gonna bother me that little. Oh, there we go. Right. And we can go down on the sketch layer, and we can essentially remove the lines that are overlapping. Boom. Oh. Reference. Get out of here. It is a very awkward running pose. But I like it for this. I like it for the three-dimensionality of it. And I like the idea of like something swooshing past him, behind him. Yeah. Pretty happy about that one, chat. And I'm also, yeah, pretty happy about that. The only thing I kind of like sort of imagined was like my logic would kind of like he would just like hug this wall and run. So instead of like running up the stairs like this, he would like run up the stairs more diagonally. Like I think like he might run and but you know. I suspect that horse anatomy is going to kill me. But hey, I survived the staircase, so I shall indeed survive the horse anatomy. Yeah. Right. I suppose we could put a sphere. Put a knee there. Just because. Just because I can. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need some more water before I try to figure out what to do next. So I'm gonna save, get some water, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back in business. Yeah, I might have to sleep a little bit on. You know what? Let's just experiment. You know, this is a third panel also. All right, this is. Let's just call this run 1, and we're gonna lock that sucker in. And we're gonna do run 2. and I think we can just let's see. Wait, press yeah, and for poses back to default, and we kind of have like more of a diagonal sideways view of the same. Yeah. Okay. Camera, please. Yeah, there we go. So we don't have all of those. Yeah. Yeah. And we gotta do the same as before. Save it to the desktop. Where's my Krita? There's my Krita. And drag you in as a reference image. Boom. And there's my beautiful OBS. Nice. Okay. This is... yeah, because like... it's probably way too big for that. Kind of. Something... trying to get him to fit. Yeah, because again, I think that is a little bit too big, but which is fine because like again, it's a separate layer, so I can just shrink it down. Again, this is tricky to do because like blah, but let's see if we can figure this one out, right? Yeah, okay, so it's fairly simple. We can start with pelvis. Like, it's not necessarily that, well, there's a little bit point to tilting the pelvis. Because it goes, yeah, it goes up a little bit. Like that. And yeah. Analyzing references by tracing the structure on top of it. It's not a bad thing. Or at least that is what I like to tell myself. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay, so there's I suppose we could just do I'm gonna deliberately move you over so that we avoid some freaking tangents. And more or less all of my hard work when making that box to kind of just go in and went up into the air, but you know, hey. You win some, you lose some. What way is that? It's going this way. Is it? So it's almost so small. It's so small, so tiny. Like, oh my god, it's so tiny. Like, are you for real right now? Why am I sounding like a valley girl? Neither a girl nor am I from a valley. Oh my god. This is a sign to end the stream, perhaps? It's an omen. It's been written. Nah. Nah. There we go. Something like that, methinks. I'm not sure how much of that one is actually going to be visible in that when we put the other leg over it, but we shall indeed make an attempt at it. Oh yeah, there you go. Well, that's not that bad. Curve. And then opposite curve, because opposing curves are nice. And then we'll just simplify that to a straight, because we can have curve on one side and straights on the other, because that is visually interesting. Yeah, look at that. Visual interest and something dynamic. Oh, I'm on that. Probably going to make a foot like this. Bada bim. Bada boom. Yeah, look at that. And boom. Roast it. Okay. That's a decent foot. Yeah, I can live with that. And now comes the fun part. We need to... Or... That was if we... Wait, red? Really? No, that's the smallest thing. It's practically overkill at this small stage, but I kind of like to do it. You go like, yeah, look at that. That level. I like doing it. It's the small things in life, chat. I suppose as you get older, you start to realize that, hey, you know, the big things in life, they are built up by the little things in life. So yeah, funny that. Yeah, we're just gonna. We're just gonna turn that into a straight box, really. Really? Yeah, we're just gonna. I'm going there, chat. We're just gonna turn that into a straight box and just, you know, straight up leave it like that. And dunk. And that's another straight. Like that. Hang on, like you probably need just a kind. Do we really though? I kind of want to. And then we can do it straight like that. Yeah. Right. And we can do. Oop, probably need a third template and then curve. Why am I even bothering with this? Like, oh, anyway. There we go. Right. Dink, dink. Why am I even bothering? I guess compounding interest and all of that. Like, oh yeah, well, yeah. And yeah. Yeah. Look at that, chat. That is absolutely gorgeous. All right. Now, okay, so practically the entire side plane of the torso is being shown, and yeah, that's the. And it kind of just goes down a bit like that. Which means if it goes down like that, it kind of probably goes a little bit down like this at the bottom plane, because perspective, you know how it is. And we cut this off here. Like that. And we have another little sneaky dude over here. I have a feeling that perspective of this box is really malformed, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. Shoulder. Oh, dang. Was that the default? Default brush is huge. Right. Okay, cool. And again, kind of like. And I am already chasing pixels, and it's which is bad practice, but very bad practice, chat. Don't do it. Because I'm at, what am I at, like, holy crap, I'm at like 800% zoom. I'm an absolute madman. You shouldn't be doing this. But, you know. Here I am. Doing it. There we go. Maybe that will make it a little bit more acceptable. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip the elbow ball on this one and just go. I really like the way that the arm kind of like, or arm slash hand, sort of like reaching. That's a cool part of this pose. Let's see if we can tap into some of that. There we go. Okay, cool. Well, there's that. And we have the dome of the head. Like there. Dunk. Which, of course, ties into the neck, which comes down like such, and we have a little interconnected, overlapping shapes. I don't know, we'll put the other shoulder ball hereabouts, and then we can just, I don't know how much of it we're gonna see in the final. A little bit of it. We're gonna see a little. We're gonna see a little bit of it. Not that much, but we're gonna see some of it. And yeah. Trim it down. Trim it down. Yeah. There. Yeah. Boom. And oh, that's not quite right. There we go. Yeah. Like this one is rougher, but I don't know. There's something about it that's like it's not quite sure where it could be that it's a torso box. No, yeah, torso box, rib cage box that is. Too small because technically speaking it is the same pose but just from a different angle. Or it's also, oh, I'm a big idiot. Like here it's pushing up because like that is, oh, So yeah, because I did the opposite there because I kind of like. Oh well, not that bad. 3 running poses. Yeah. 3 running poses, almost 3 hours. Except 1 hour was just, the first hour was me goofing, not goofing around, but practicing. Doing my homework. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm happy how that one turned out. Like, it's silly and goofy, but, you know. I guess it adds character, ultimately. Let's see. Run 2. Yeah. Happy about it, happy about it, happy about it. Right, because like on... Yeah. Because page 2 is like when he's like winding up to the last page there. He's winding up. Right. Yeah. Here he is winding up to do the throw. Which one did I actually use of these? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Alright. I was just curious. Alright, yeah, because there he's sort of like winding up. And he sees a way out. No, we're not gonna save that. It's just insignificant changes. Rounds the corner, and as he rounds the corner, you can sort of get the swish thing. The pitchfork. There's a little like rounds the same. Corner? There's some weird, like, yeah. Oh no, like that's not the corner. That's the back of his foot. I thought it was the corner of the building. Ah. Yeah. And then we have the building. I'm not sure. I could also. I'm not entirely sure about scale, because like he's running and leaning forward, but he also like, how do I get that to fit with Maybe he's too small to be down here, but it would make more sense to put him up like here, maybe? Higher up on the stairs. Maybe. Yeah. Because that becomes sort of like a focal point. Yeah. Could do that. And then he sort of like catches his breath at the door, sees the elevator, pushes the button. Frantically pushing the button, and then the pitchfork comes in for a second jab, smashes, and he notices the stairs, which brings us to the money shot of staircase, where he's, and again, I'm tempted to use the same running pose, like, because like that is his running, that's just how he runs, like really forward leaning, running up, do. But obviously now it needs to be like a more of a top-down view. And the beautiful thing about like Art Pose Pro is that you can take a pose and you can flip it. You can with a click of a button, you can mirror it, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, that would probably be a little bit like that. I'm not sure if I would put him on like every stair, like every, do I put him one here, one, alright, like do I put him one here, here, and here, and even here, or is that too much? We can experiment a little bit around with that, chat. And then runs up the stairs. And anytime now. This is the third stab with the pitchfork thrown from the bottom and up, jams into the ceiling. Lots of speed lines, running like mad dash down to the end of the hallway. Busts up the door, slams the door shut. Fourth and final attack with a pitchfork injures his heel, injures his foot, and it's like, god dang it, look at me, I'm hurt. And now the pitchfork is kind of there. And our titular bullet witch, Alicia Klaus, bursts in through the window and just, starts blasting. I have no idea how that will work in terms of pacing and whatnot, but, hey, let's just get it done. You know, that's the first 7 pages, and then we just need to figure out the 8 pages of exposition. At least those won't be necessarily be as high octane action, and you can have more like, oh, what's that core? It's not. Is it the mid shot? I think it's like the mid shot where you can like you only have like from the torso and up, or not even waist, but like from the bottom of the sternum and up. Yeah, so chest muscles or boobs, from the boobs and up. Which will allow me to practice a little bit more like facial expressions back and forth, dialogue. There hasn't been unnecessarily that much dialogue around here, just more sound effects of him running and panting and huffing and puffing. But yeah, we're making good progress. Like, there are people who like finishes like an entire comic in like a month, but yeah, that ain't me. But then again, who cares? Yeah. This is a nice little recap of the story so far. Oh, right, yeah, I do. Yeah, I use both of those horse references. I do remember now. It was just, I could see it here in the... here. Right, because that is the compressed one, and then the next one is like stretched out. But because of the pose, or because of the camera angle, again. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, I used that one there. Yeah. Memories. This felt like it was a good eternity ago. Oh, how time flies. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for me today. Chat. It's not going to be in a stream tomorrow because I got invited home to my parents, and despite my age, I'm a bit of a mama's boy. So what can you do? Which means we will probably be picking up the slack on Wednesday. I might as well just note out. I see that tomorrow it's the 3rd of February, 4th of February, 5th of February, 6th on Friday, 7th on Saturday, and 8th on Sunday. Yeah. Right. So that basically leaves us with, at least on Wednesday, and we'll just have to see where the next break day comes in. Alright? So until then, keep drawing, keep having fun. I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye-bye.